Ajala kisangolo pa teker, ajala kisangolo pa. Ari poma ina ikoto kwa Teso. Ajala kisapiti na Teso, ajala kisapiti na. Amina na ra ikoto ikatunga. Kisolo ta ikatunga, ikatunga. Mwanga nyine ikatunga, ikanisa ikatunga, ikatunga. Mwanga nyine ikatunga, kumitauni ikatunga, ikatunga.
Yalama noi awanyunesi yalama noi anyun jolo itei kwana Emuria TV apartina lolo era partner be joko noi ajini ngochutubon be langira para nara era na rerin for a while adauno sapa kapara shani punoi anyu na dauno tori politics Teso mamo iria makina kede honorable Philip Oucor former contestant Anuka Serere County. Why I am so interested in him is one thing. He is a person who wishes Teso at large and Uganda at large the best prosperity. And by so doing, I want to welcome everyone on board. And I would love to say, my name is Arasisia Polondolopiko, live on Emuria TV. And on the other hand, I am privileged to introduce for you one of the legit gentlemen we have in Teso, and that is Bwana. I won't call him Bwana because I don't want to call him Ndugu, because that one, Bwana Philip Oucor, he was once a contestant in Serere, lost it by either 1 minute, an inch, I don't know, but you're most welcome, sir.
Thank you. Alama jakait dolopiko.
Angeta karit.
Alama aswam ni swama Teso hapa Emuria TV. Alama for the invitation.
Eba.
Happy to engage.
Alama suna.
Atakere yoga. Carlo tetet amuno resu rerengusho. Amuno resu rereng aneja la suban. Do yatakine ailip. Bonbe ni pitorto nida. There are better days ahead.
Okay, yalama nui. Ejakait Philip Oucor ngon. Akotonga ingetinge sange setna sodit. Erang setna benene nui. Balabono, what is the state of politics in Teso? I know you're very informed, and I cannot break the state in another term.
I think it sounds a very simple question. But I think I will answer in two angles. I think never before have we, come to the main table of national politics than now. Because, we are now speaking with knowledge and full authority when we have our very own people, our own people like the vice president of the country, right from Teso. We have our second in command in parliament, the right honorable Anita Mong, and we have quite a host of ministers, cabinet, as well as the state. We also have a host of them in other positions, PSS, commissioners, and so on. So I think the state of politics for now, I would say, from the national table, we've been very privileged. And it's upon us now, to deliver and show the world, show the entire country what we can achieve.
Wow.
That is one angle. The other angle, which is the most critical, is what then do we get from this politics? Exactly. There is being on the table, and then we still don't benefit. So, akaili paane jasi tungalwe jasa rere. Jasa onareren kere kapiteso, kapitungalo kede. Bijao ni kere toto lupo. Kapa vice president, ijao ni kere toto inachuo kono bukedia, Anita Mong kapa deputy speaker, ijata roni kere minister ni che kere lo Teso. Itei kwa nadoso, bon bi nyobe bet kesaya unon Teso. Nare jakine tubita. Dobre neri tia inese do ni Teso. Neni nese defining the real state of politics lo Teso. Because you cannot separate politics with economics. You cannot. These two are intertwined.
That is very
And actually the bigger debate is which one comes before the other. Is it politics that feeds economics, or is it economics that feeds
the
politics? But now that we have our own people,
Mm.
we want to see that, the historical ailments, the historical challenges of Teso, and indeed the historical challenges of Uganda, poverty, ignorance, disease, should come to a point that we begin to appreciate the kind of leaders that will vote into power. And then in the one in bonbe eswamati Teso, eswamata luya na sekuto. And politics egearo kwap. Konyengo no ino amina ngalimuno initunga. Bonbe I politics le bala bonbe ainer anwanyun bonbe July no neja utene. Emameto local government. Sarija ijo local government agare chairman LOC 5. Abongo LOC 1. Yes. Local ejene bonbi boletes politics nare raseo. Konye era ingun a level lebeto resa ngara kinitonga assumption ngarente tonga kwao. Uchalo, a district, a buku, a tem, a parish kede, a chalo. So neni ekotona jenun bonbe jai politics konyi bore pol. Neso na ito sama aina kinete ne jai koni e jai kisoni tunga. Alusita ngareni kinikesi. Kedele jai koni lasoban. Adumu ni tunga lepu ijasui. Ucholo ngole gela.
Narai ibu package of Teso a position berla rang excited a caring yes a position kia vice president. The reason being Tejo vice president Kolola Jai Edward II and succeeded by our own, that is right honorable high excellence actually high excellency retired Major Jessica Alupo Epel. What would we expect from that position, and what would we expect from the position attained by our very own the right honorable speaker, the deputy speaker, when we analyze the two?
But maybe a perspective. Government has three arms.
True.
The executive, the legislature,
and the
judiciary. Now, to have our very own in the legislature and executive, second in command, is no mean achievement. It's a huge achievement. So to your point, what should we expect? As a vice president, genuinely, she even chairs cabinet meetings. And cabinet meetings means all the other heads of departments, all the other ministers. A minister lawyer itakironu gudo transport works, a minister lawyer itakironu agriculture, minister lawyer. So nesi chairing a meeting katangon. Do that reja idone okotwen I chairing a meeting katangon. E jaibodo tiona mun. Ida jeningo e bunaiswa maun. Bonbe e jeni toto.
Ne jaring eso pimbiro.
E jeni toto bonbe jeng eso pimbiro. Ike tunga e riebetenge. Ike tunga e tione pona losit. Ike tunga e mona igudoi. Ike tunga
owaila ngale wegiriti.
Kapana itejo nepetae e July ni kwano ni e July ne Teso. E mame edo ada kwana nepetae la pika nyuni. E bunedo woliore. And genuine bon by jara ko kere itortenyo akor. Se woli edo ka woli oro. Itendo kwa naso toto. Bonbe eje ngisi ngina o cabinet. Polokiti ngisi luche ku kere. Umomo izo bonbe amune egweru ngisi bonbe mam. Okwe ngares beroni Teso kera dams. Ngares beroni Teso kid irrigation schemes.
Irrigation schemes, they are very scarce and rare.
Konye jazi jengesi ngina. Ejai bona renguda do no yengo. Endara ngo apoga. Nara jini ubonbi na chika Helen adoa. A minister na didi na yata kiromi chorin keragaria. Nyenda jengin part of a ministry le pole agriculture. Also kesi.
When we look at rural electrification, it's spearheaded by Oucor Bobo.
Eja kaitokaza. Iloto bona inarakiro nuwa wax. Oucor Bobo. Eja kaitechweru. So ija onitunga luwe jase upibiro. Kwenye da kaile panisa dopet. Oni luo kwapo. Mami danga isikesi. Eja ikisikesi the confidence. Terekesi delivering ite. Eja ikisikesi agangat. In whichever way we can. And let us not hurry, to cast blames. Bonba itejo ngone itejo konye bodo yesu da dija sesungina. Dare so jaiso kwapune. Lu apolo kokosi. Jaisa muno bon be amuno iperesa ikonai I ngarai ni so kapijata reso po biro ibore ne polongi.
Now we have talked very many positions that could have benefited us. When you look at Karamoja Kedekata Kuyangina, they're in very bigger wrangles. Even Nepene Kapelebiong, there are very many challenges of the cattle rustlers. People are taking the cattle and killing people every time, every week. At least 1 or 2 die. The other week we lost about 3 people on the same course, and we are also proud that we have security person, the top people there, one of our very own, Buana Elelo. So by so doing, I would also love to take you to another level. What are the challenges that are hindering the development of Teso politically? And I know,
but before you even go to the challenges, I think you raised a very interesting thing that I needed to comment, if you allow me. The issue of security in with our uncles or Bodangina Kabele, and you also raise it rightly. Be Jataroni Keronacho General Peter Elwelo, who is my personal friend. We actually have more than General Elwelo.
because
Nara Jataroni Kede General Samuel Okiding, Ngesere Deputy CLF, Commander of Land Forces, Ijataroni Wokokoku, Ejakaitoluka, is a politician. So Ijayo Nikede Arereng Nara, Ejasi Sap, Chutulupo, Eya PSK the Lotojo security. I think some of these things are historical, the issue of Onikede Karamoja border, that's a historical security issue. So we can only say, how do we manage?
True.
But I am not very sure at this time that we can authoritatively say this can be solved in a shorter run. But we can manage, we can contain through community policing, through engagements, through negotiations. Today, as even we are doing this interview, I know the top security echelons of this country and Teso are also doing interviews because I spoke to them. They are my friends. They are still discussing about the same. But the real gist of the matter, and to your point of, what are the challenges of development, is poverty. Iboru lukere insecurity, gender-based violence, koko, inyobe yauni. Ichan. So for leaders, if we do not trace the source, the origin of insecurity, the origin of all the other sins, to poverty, ignorance, disease, then we are failing to diagnose the disease. And the saying is that knowing a disease is halfway treatment.
Halfway treatment.
Kotengare no kajenu mbonbe atchokishono kerege aros nara ejasilwe peretetenge. Ejasilwe babe polo alosadekis. Ejasilwe ashomatike zadue konye mametaswa mshine. Ejailwe amena yangaridwai osemero konye chwake dwe.
Noi.
Ejailu kapane bonge dwe tepe mamejoto inare ise togo. So atchokishongun are mame ngare no kapane geta sesen. Bonibe atchokishonu chenu are secondary. The primary is poverty. Ichanirida ititunga. And we are in a situation in Uganda and Teso Kapana where all of us are not sleeping. Lwa baraka mame joto ete nare omomo ete bonbe pote luicha na koko kesi.
Akoko ari kecheboro.
Luicha ni mame joto ete nare planning aita alo za koko.
Ngada planning apa ka ability bere bank.
I tell you. So wani kere mami kone. Mami joto
hii.
Ingare noni neze kona bunere in the middle. Alimun bonbe lo ichani akona ngara ni jokwana. Oke abere joda ne. Ijoda la barane e korja jinu bonbe korjo lo ichani. Asodo ni iraido je rita mitijo. Mamu bala be mami chaki amor ne ja glass ari periyo ne ja silo. A glass naro mi jene pone jar.
Pole detunore.
Yes. So it challenges luka pare je kitoni political mamoni lo support. Na solidness boy is ne luma ma faida. Engo kapibala nani jokomba bunge biro. Ida chamungu.
Bot ne katos.
Politungo pot na makada bonde there was overwhelming evidence. Bonde mamu biroro fairly. But I said, God gives leaders. But there are also leaders that God allows. There are leaders that God gives.
Then there are those.
But there are those leaders that God allows.
I understand.
So when I looked, from where I sit, when I looked at the two, that okay, God gives leaders, but also God allows, maybe to punish them. So God, and it is biblical. There are those leaders that God allowed to come in, but you know what they did, the atrocities they did during the time before Jesus, and even during
an example
Jesus.
was Goliath, and
Goliath,
he regretted after
King Herod, all those were leaders that
Pharaoh.
Those are the Pharaoh. Those are leaders that were allowed by God. So that his might would manifest. The might of Jesus, the might of God would then manifest through them. So when, for me as a Christian, I reflected onto it, I said, no, I do not need to pursue anything. I will wait another chance. If people see it necessary, I will wait for my chance, and then I lead at whatever level.
And the time.
So now I would expect that all of us have come together. We are united. We are speaking one language. We are all leaders. Onikeracha manaribon be mam. Ijo itubujo. Ijo mamji tubiti. Konyo onikere ijatara ideas, ijatara omisho, ijatara skinita nupejo hoka. Mimuno roni Teso, mimuno roni Uganda. A joke. So mata nepepe engara kiswako tunga.
Meaning the challenges that are hindering development.
One of them is intrigue, fighting, borulu, angaranari, ikolosile lumama faida, ikiro mipate, akiro. Those are the issues.
There are a packing a diary more abala doping iron lot selimoni eating etungalo tesebe. And that was General Lelo. Abalebe atwana osoban konyelo asubi osoban ijari obuni captain Mike Mokulada abalebe ibore Paul Emorkikinos. Do you think there are very many political differences amongst our leaders in command?
No, I think the question is, do we have anything that should unite us? And my answer is yes. Do we have? My answer is yes. Because if indeed you are a leader, some of them, you aspire to be one. The political ones, you go through, you present what you want to do,
you get vetted
and
by
so
the people.
on. You get vetted by the people, and God endorses, and you go there. Some because it's a service to the community.
True.
Like General Luelu, for instance, all the other army guys, the security guys, the policemen, and all that is a service. They are servants of people, So all of them, one thing is in common: people. Serving people, serving communities, serving societies, serving Teso. That should override everything else. If you are General Luelu, for instance, what would you want to achieve?
A very good question.
What would you want to? You would want to achieve a united, cohesive society. You would want to achieve a peaceful society. You'd want to achieve a prosperous society. You'd want to achieve a progressive society. Now, if you are Excellency,
the
vice president, what do you want to achieve? The same things. If you are Dolopiko, if you are Philip,
that's why I'm organized.
So all these things, all these guys, there is so much that unites us than that divides us. The challenge is that we focus on what divides us. Because you feel insecure. You have a feeling that somebody will take over your position. And yet the solution is for you to do the right thing for the communities. So for me, that's where the problem is. But I still believe that there's a chance, there's an opportunity for us to come together, leaders or not leaders. May I call myself a leader without a title? Yeah, there's that book. If you read it, Leaders Without Titles. I am one of them because you reach out to me. I've made a significant contribution in society, in Serere, in Teso, and therefore you can't wish me away. I need to come to the table with the other leader and speak, whether I have the platform or no.
Okay, now when we look at that, I would love to take us to a different angle. Now we have very many positions. We have a lot of our people in command everywhere, and every branch we have in the country. And now when you look at Teso, what is the future of Teso? Let's first weigh in this only this within this term, and maybe after the another election of 2026. What should we expect politically from these people?
You know,
From
it's just one thing: service delivery.
service delivery.
In very plain words and in very simple terms, we expect that these guys will elevate our lives, will move us from one level to another. And there are 5 things that we expect as a bare minimum. We had touched about the issue of rain now disappeared, irrigation and so on. So we expect that our leaders will drive on priority agriculture. And what are the key tenets of agriculture? Irrigation, seeds, market for their produce. These are key tenets for agriculture. We expect that they own it up and drive it. The other key, which is the most important again and affecting us directly, is infrastructure. We are talking about roads that connects our communities and therefore be able to pick the products from the different villages. And we should be taking our produce direct. For instance, South Sudan. We are lucky where we are placed. We have South Sudan highway right here in Soroti. We also have, which is another country. We also have Mbale to Malaba, another country.
And the road is clean.
And so what is remaining is the roads. Now we would expect that the road, to Baralela, a road to Kateta, a road to Bugondo, a road to, so that we collect our produce, we collect our agricultural products and sell direct, not through the middleman. The other part of infrastructure is electricity. A bulk of our youth should be involved in small scale industries. Welding, small things, even these Jews. You need electricity, to help you to do this. But right now, Teso is only 35% connected to the main grid. And yet the green energy, the solar, the wind, the thermal, we are not yet there.
The
biogas, we are not yet there. So our main focus would be, how do we tap into the national grid, which we only have about 35% connected. And even those that are connected, are they able to, can they afford to pay?
Exactly, that is the question.
So all these are the things. The other bit of infrastructure, is to do with medical, to do with education, the schools, the health centers, the hospitals. One thing is to have the structures. It is the other thing to have medicine and to have the staff. But what we expect for these 5 years, that we have a vice president, we have a deputy speaker, we have the ministers, we have all the other leaders. We have 43 members of parliament from Teso. What we expect right now is that let's start the journey. Let's get the infrastructure. Let's connect the roads. Let's identify markets for our produce. Let us zone Teso that Serere is known to produce cassava.
And they have cassava.
And support them with cassava.
Fully.
Let's zone and say, maybe in Wusuk, Imumwa. Let's zone them, get
Kumi
market.
Achok.
Kumi Achok. Bukedia, Maido.
Let's
zone and let's support these farmers. Let's get the right seeds. Let's support them and produce. That way we are able,
Korea Palisa,
Mucheri. Let's support them. But do we have right now the will? I want to think that yes, we have the will, because these leaders, it's us who voted them based on the promises they gave us. Do we have the machinery to get there? Yes, because we have the leaders. Do we have the real energy, to get these things working? Is what is lacking. And I want to believe that our leaders are listening and they will, start to put these things into practice.
Kesha communicate, their informers will let them hear this, even if they are busy. Then we also have, now we are almost coming up to the end of the show, but I would also have to ask you a very small question. Looking at the initiative brought by the government of Uganda under the NRM about the parish model. Yes, every parish is getting 17 million. I don't know how best, because maybe the people who are watching, those people who are going to get authorities might also be watching now, and I know that when they hear from somewhere the ideas, how best can we benefit from this parish model, because the 17 million is not small money. Oh, it's small.
I will be selfish a little, and not that I am a pessimist. I'm a very optimistic person, but given my background, arangi chalo it. Urekita ngochalo, apulutu ngochalo,
Serere.
Chalo chuti tomangina. So ajeni ngatoksono jasi. And when I look at the initiatives, government has never run out of ideas. And you have lived long enough.
I've had.
If we count them backwards, they are quite a trillion of them. NADS. We have never, as a country, been in a deficit of ideas. We've never. The problem is at implementation
level now.
At implementation level. Otherwise, I've never seen a deficit of ideas in our country, in our leadership.
It has never been there.
It has never been there. So the question of the parish development model is really about implementation. The idea in its entirety is a fantastic idea. Because you see, if you want to change the lives of people, then you must have a bottom-up approach. The parish development model is a pure bottom-up economic model approach. That you are going down to the bottom of the pyramid and put resources to the very least people at the parish, at the village, and give them the money and let them spur production. That is the whole essence of parish development model. That let's go down alototo chalo alototo o parish egwa ikisirigini jasitunga lo kwap itoso maisirigini lu anwaga production o kwap. So kui balangole show me a bit of economics. It is a bottom up economic model where government sends money to the bottom and give those people in their groups and ask them to use this money to do what they know. So if I reference Serere as a benchmark for parish development model.
First of all, how many parishes are in Serere?
Parishes as a district, no, I know.
Sub-counties are 17, but are 15.
They should be more. I can check that fact. But I just wanted to refresh to reference Oburi, a parish.
Your own parish.
My own parish.
How many people do you think are there?
Now, it's quite a number. Oucor Teso.
They don't
which is a good problem.
They don't know about family planning.
No, family planning will come later. Uganda has capacity to feed the 50 million people that we have now. We have the resources. We have all the resources untapped. About 30% of our land is not productively utilized. Even the land that is utilized is not utilized properly. Yes, so I wouldn't really worry about the population for now. When we outburst, then it becomes a concern. We can discuss it at that point. But let's go back to the parish development model. So this is one of the many programs that they've brought. And they are saying, guys, we want your own leadership. A parish chief, the LOC2 chairman, and the other members, 7, are the guys in charge.
This money.
We are sending the money. Please identify the activities
you want
to do. get the money, do the activities. And that for me is very important. Not mentioning the challenges, whether the money, if they say 17 million, I really hope that 17 million will reach the what?
The
parish. Not now that 15.6 and the other money goes into administrative costs. Then you start, bank charges. Then you start. So I hope, and I'm speaking to the leaders of Teso, that let us be honest, let us be faithful to our oath, and let us look at our people and what they are in and help them get out of the biting poverty by only doing one simple thing: rally these people, educate them, deliver the money.
True.
And task the parish leadership to be accountable.
That is it.
Once we do this, the other aspect of the parish development model, which is to support, we are talking about now the infrastructure. That yes, if these guys get the money and they're engaged in welding, they're engaged in growing tomatoes, they're engaged in different farming activities, they are engaged in rearing pigs or agaria, they're engaged in all the other activities, and now they have, where will they sell them?
So make the market available.
So make the market available and let the prices be proportionate to the labor put in.
Yes.
And that is leadership. Leadership is to identify, 1, what is the problem? 2, help them navigate. 3, get the market for whatever they've produced. Because you see now, we don't want to get into a challenge where whatever these guys produce, we put on uskedi beko. Yenyi beko ipone ijata beko tasone. Oreka bone ajata rinkiteka. Kapani ituru toze yapie. Kwenye beko ulo ako kere ado ere pape. Mimi na gula ringo.
I remember one time.
The people yoni dite imuchuga.
Very clean.
That is money.
Beautiful.
But they are all going to pour down because a mame market.
Aranya Uberelo.
Juice. Hey, we have Teju juice. Teju juice is a different discussion.
But I'm told they buy their goods.
No, you will invite me for that discussion. It's a different. There's a leadership crisis at Teju.
Let's leave
nothing else. So let's discuss it at some point.
It's okay. My God, sounds accepting.
So my leaders, I speak with you with humility that the parish development model has the potential to transform our societies, to transform the lives of people, and to change all of us. And then whether I have something or I don't have, I should be able to afford what? Sleeps. Because I'm no longer worried. But this can only happen when you have the discipline, when you have the will, when you have the real purpose to help this parish model develop. So help us identify the bigger parts of the parish development model. If you are talking about roads, let's get these roads.
Yes.
If we are talking about the health facilities, because I usually tell people that a dying man has no manners. If you go to a hospital, somebody is about to die, you can't tell that person to sit properly. When I'm dying in the next 2 minutes.
I ran from the maternity ward one day when I went to visit someone.
Yes.
It
has no manners. We must appreciate it. Say has no manners. Kotoni ngareno kajenete. Etwene le peri togo yisi. Mame perajo has no manners. Etwele jasi kediduwe ure. Edautosa shoman e mama aswam has no manners. Etwele uriti jasi duwe betanga rusemera mena yangar has no manners. Etwele le jata raberu ne deka konye mina yangara dekis has no manners. And this is leadership. And for me, I'm only challenging you because I am a leader without a title.
Amen. Now, I wanted us to come to a closure, but your one word for directly the people of Sarah, because I know maybe you've given up now. I did not, and it has been my message. I did not come because I was looking for a position. Me, I was looking for 2 things. One was a platform for me to lobby for my people. A platform. And an honorable member of parliament has a vast, he has unlimited platform. They are VIPs. Even they can fly to Korea, fly anywhere. Even Israel. Yesterday I heard someone saying he's in Israel already. I wanted the platform so I could lobby for my people. That's number 1. Number 2, coming from there, I have a story, and next time maybe you can, profile me. Shall have that one. I have a story that would inspire millions of people. Having been born, grow up, borrowed, begged for food,
has no father, has no mother, the only boy, and you come through a cruel society to make it to where I am, to have even a platform, which I do not qualify for in a Emuria TV interview. But because of His grace, I'm here. I thought I would use myself and inspire the rest of the youth, the rest of the people, that life is never a permanent thing. It can change. So for me, that's what brought me. So if you ask me whether I will come back, even now I'm in it. Just yesterday, even now I'm in it. I'm serving people without a platform.
Position, even.
That is the only difference.
And God
but
will
I'm serving my people. I've been here. Yesterday we are attending the function for women. You were there. And after that, I attended other meetings. Today, as we're speaking after here, I'm going for other functions at my capacity as Philip Oucor. But also don't forget, I am a flag bearer until 2026. So I am actually a shadow member of parliament for Serere. So sometimes when you are addressing me, don't forget.
Honorable, I call you honorable, right?
Because they voted me.
Yes, true.
17,000 people voted on the 4th September by lining. No voting, no
so they trusted you.
So katunga lo Serere arikunga ijai apara jini ijase suda amena nese koto pol. Amen. Atuboto imuno rikesarere nusho ingara isikere. Ngara isengoda. Ngara ngoda jengina. Decisions that our leaders make can either break or make us.
Thank you so much. Yalama nunui Emuria TV Oucor Teso in focus keda Bwana Honorable Philip Oucor, the flag bearer for Serere County. And those who have heard him, those who have been with us, thank you so much for keeping glued to Emuria TV. Keep loving it. Subscribe, watch, share, like. We love you. We shall always serve you to the dot. Bye-bye.
Telekoni tesoro noi telekoni abe koni dalolo we katunga ajala kisangolo pateker ajala kisangolo pa ai poma ina ikoto kwai teso ajala kisapiti na teso ajala kisapiti na amina na ikoto ikatunga isolo tai katunga mwanga nyine katunga ikanisa ikatunga katunga mwanga nyine katunga kumita une katunga